That's not just a catchy phrase. It's a reality that too many people avoid because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to think that success comes when you're connected to the right people, when you've got a big support system, when everybody's cheering you on. But let's be real. If you're waiting for everyone to be on board before you move, you'll be waiting forever. See, the problem is we've been conditioned to believe that progress requires permission. You think you need someone to co-sign your vision. You think your dreams won't matter unless 10 people validate them. But let me ask you something. When you're hungry, do you wait for the group to eat? When your stomach growls, do you need a committee decision before you grab a plate? No, you move because the need is real. You move because the hunger is real, and your dreams, your purpose, they should be no different. Success doesn't come from consensus. It comes from commitment. And commitment is something you carry inside you, not something you borrow from your friends you're not in school anymore. This isn't a group project where everyone gets the same grade no matter who did the work. In real life, you get the grade for what you do or don't do. There's no team when you're lying in bed at night wondering why your life isn't where it should be. There's no squad to blame when your goals are slipping away one excuse at a time. That's all you. You can't outsource effort. You can't delegate discipline. You can't share accountability. Now, I'm not saying you'll never have help, of course not. Along the way, people will enter your life who inspire you, support you, and even walk with you for a while. But don't confuse companionship with responsibility. Your dream is your responsibility. Nobody owes you energy. Nobody owes you encouragement. You've got to learn how to be your own backup when the world goes silent. Some of you are stuck because you keep looking around, waiting for someone to say, oh, let's do this together. You keep waiting for someone to match your level of urgency. But listen, your urgency isn't their obligation. If it matters that much to you, then you move. You grind. You sacrifice. You lead the way, even if no one's following yet. History is full of people who walked alone before anyone believed. The Wright brothers didn't have a global engineering team. They had a bicycle shop and a dream that looked crazy. Steve Jobs didn't wait for a tech company to hire him to innovate. He started building in a garage. Rosa Parks didn't wait for a committee to tell her it was time to sit. She just sat. What do all these people have in common? They understood that you don't need a crowd to start. You just need courage. You need belief. You need enough vision to see past your circumstances and enough discipline to act without applause. Let me break it down for the students listening right now. You might have group projects in class, but when exam day comes, you sit alone. That paper is just you and your preparation. That grade, that's a reflection of what you did, not your group. So why would you treat life any different? Some of you are waiting to get started on your business until your best friend is ready. Some of you won't sign up for the gym because you don't have a workout partner. You won't write the book until someone promises to read it. You won't apply to the job unless someone else says it's a good idea. Stop, you are wasting time asking for permission to be great. Greatness doesn't come when everybody agrees. Greatness comes when you move forward in the face of doubt. Greatness comes when you build when it's unpopular, when you show up when it's inconvenient, when you choose growth, even if it means growing away from people you used to lean on. You need to be okay with walking alone. In fact, the earlier you get comfortable with solitude, the sooner you'll get to success. Because when you're walking solo, there are no distractions. There's no one else to blame. You see your habits clearly. You face your flaws directly. And if you've got the courage to keep going, even in that lonely space, that's where transformation happens. So here's the challenge. Stop treating your destiny like a group project. Stop waiting on your friends. Stop blaming your environment. Stop making the lack of support your excuse. You don't need 100 people to believe in your dream. You just need one. You. Because when you believe hard enough, work consistently enough, and grow quietly enough, the results will eventually speak so loud that even the people who doubted you will have to listen. Success is not a group assignment. It's personal. It's solitary. And it's yours to claim. If you've got the courage to walk the path alone, everybody wants the prize, but the truth is most people don't want to pay the price. And the reason they don't pay the price is simple. They're relying on motivation instead of discipline. Let me teach you something right now. Motivation is emotional. It's a feeling. It's temporary. You might feel it on Monday and it's gone by Tuesday. You watch a video, you get pumped, your blood's rushing, your heart's pounding, you're ready to take over the world. But then life punches you in the mouth. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and suddenly that motivation disappears. Your body says, no, your friends are still asleep. It's raining outside, and you roll over. Why? Because you were counting on motivation to get you there. But discipline don't care about the weather. Discipline doesn't check your mood. Discipline isn't concerned about how excited you are. Discipline just shows up again and again. See, motivation is the spark, but discipline is the engine. Motivation gets you started, but discipline gets you finished. You don't need to feel like doing it, you just need to do it. You want to get in shape? Good. Motivation might get you in the gym once, maybe even twice. But the moment that soreness kicks in or the skill doesn't move fast enough, motivation vanishes. Now what? That's when discipline steps in and says, we're going anyway. That's when discipline says results don't come to those who finish it. Let me bring it home for the students. You think you're gonna pass that exam just because you're motivated the night before? No, if you haven't been putting in the reps, if you haven't been hitting the books day after day, motivation won't save you. You need discipline to sit down when the party's calling your name. Discipline to say no to the distraction and yes to your future. For the entrepreneurs, you think building a business is just about inspiration? You think every day is filled with breakthroughs and excitement? No. Some days are full of silence. Some days nothing works. Some days it's boring, repetitive, and exhausting. But the ones who win, they stay locked in. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they committed to. You've got to train yourself to operate beyond emotions. Because your emotions are not built for endurance. They're built for moments, but discipline, that's where the power is. That's the foundation, that's the difference between a starter and a finisher. Between a dreamer and a doer, between the person who talks about it and the one who lives it. Let me give you an example. A lion doesn't always wake up hungry, but it still hunts. Why? Because its survival doesn't depend on mood. It depends on instinct. That's what discipline becomes when you train it. An instinct, a default setting. You don't question it. You don't negotiate with it. You don't delay it. You just execute. And don't confuse this with perfection. Discipline doesn't mean you never fall off. Discipline means you come back stronger. You missed a workout, you don't throw away the week, you reset, you refocus. You return. That's what separates the committed from the casual. A disciplined person knows consistency isn't about being perfect. Some of you are waiting for the right moment to start being disciplined. Let me help you. There is no perfect moment. Discipline is what creates the moment. Discipline creates momentum. Discipline creates clarity. Discipline makes the vision real. And here's the truth, the more disciplined you become, the less you'll need to be motivated. You ever wonder why high achievers seem so calm, so locked in, so consistent? It's not that they're always excited. It's that they've trained their discipline to do the heavy lifting. While other people are distracted by every wave of emotion, they're on autopilots, handle what their feelings can't. So I challenge you, stop relying on hype. Stop chasing that emotional high. Instead, build a routine, build structure, build systems, set the alarm and don't hit snooze. Schedule your goals like appointments. Show up for yourself when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's lonely, because that's where greatness lives. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline, because when the lights are off, when the cameras are gone, when the world forgets your name, discipline will still be there, holding you accountable, pushing you forward, reminding you of the promise you made to yourself when nobody else believed. You want to succeed on the solo path. You better make discipline your best friend, because motivation may open the door, but only discipline walks you through it. If you want success, real success, I need you to understand this. You're going to have to pay for it. And I'm not talking about pain. I'm talking about pain. I'm talking about sacrifice. I'm talking about ownership. These aren't obstacles to success. They're the price tag. They are the tuition fees you pay when you choose to walk this solo success path. Let's start with pain. See, we've been taught to avoid pain. We've been taught that pain is bad, that pain means something's wrong. But if you really study high achievers, successful entrepreneurs, athletes, scholars, pain is always part of the process. Not one of them got there without it. You can't grow without discomfort. Muscles don't build without tearing. Skills don't sharpen without repetition. Wisdom doesn't come without failure. Pain is the currency of growth, but you're out here trying to get the reward without the hurt. You want the six-pack without the early mornings and the sore muscles. You want the degree without the late nights and the mental exhaustion. You want the business without the risk, the fear, the rejection. That's not how it works. That's not reality. The pain is necessary. The pain is proof that you're doing the work, and when you walk this journey solo, you feel every ounce of it. There's no one to share it with. No one to take some of the weight off. It's you, bleeding, sweating, stretching, on your own. Now let's talk about sacrifice. You can't say yes to greatness and keep saying yes to comfort. At some point, something's got to give if you want to be extraordinary. Then you can't keep doing what ordinary people do. You can't go to every party. You can't sleep in every day. You can't binge watch shows all weekend and still expect elite results. Something has to go. Success demands exchange. Look around you. The people who are excelling in their fields didn't get there by chance. They sacrificed. They said no to things most people say yes to. They delayed gratification. They trained while others relaxed. They studied while others scrolled, and they did it alone. Not because they were antisocial, but because their vision required separation. Sometimes the elevation demands isolation. You've got to sacrifice the short-term pleasure for the long-term reward. You've got to be willing to look crazy now to look legendary later. It's on the hardest part. You have to make these decisions by yourself. There's no applause when you sacrifice, no cheers when you decline distractions. You won't trend on social media because you chose to grind in silence, but you'll know, and that's where the third cost comes in: ownership. If you want solo success, you have to own your life. Period. Own your mistakes, own your habits, own your attitude. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is responsible for where you are right now except you. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your ex, not your boss, you. You've got to stop blaming and start building. You've got to stop complaining and start creating. You've got to stop pointing fingers and start holding mirrors. That's what ownership looks like. You don't get to skip this part on the solo path. When you succeed, it's yours. But when you fail, that's yours too. And if you can't take that kind of weight, then this journey's not for you. Because let me be real, there are no shortcuts. You can't bypass pain. You can't delegate responsibility. And even when nobody believes in you, you still have to believe in yourself. Even when no one is checking in on you, you still have to check in with yourself. Even when nobody's clapping for you, you still have to show up and perform. You see, pain, sacrifice, and ownership are not barriers. They're the filters. They separate the committed from the curious, the determined from the distracted. Most people don't want to pay. They want the benefits of success while outsourcing the responsibility. They want to win without sweating. They want to shine without struggling. But that's not how greatness is built. You've got to go through it, not around it. And here's the part they don't tell you. Once you start paying these dues, you'll earn something money can't buy: self-respect. You'll start to trust yourself. You'll know that you can endure. You'll stop looking for handouts because you know you're capable of handling what's required. You'll walk differently, talk differently, think differently. Success, you bought it outright. And that confidence, that ownership, that's what makes the solo path worth it. Not just the end result, but who you become along the way. So don't fear sacrifice. Lean into it. Don't fear sacrifice. Lean into it. Don't dodge ownership. Tame it. Because if you're willing to pay the tuition in full, if you're willing to bleed, to give up, to take full responsibility, you will graduate from average to unstoppable. And the diploma, it's your life, designed, built and earned by you.